For our family, Master Han Shitang long ago transcended the role of teacher. He was the igniter and calibrator of my grandfather's path of cultivation, the witness and blessing of my parents' union, and the foundational architect of our family's guiding principle in turbulent times to stand in wisdom, meet the world with compassion, and safeguard inner light amid complexity. He never pointed out a ready-made road for us. Again and again, he simply polished the lamp with which we ourselves could see the way forward. That lamp's light has pierced the dust of time and still glimmers, quietly, within the veins of our family legacy. Act 3. Between Life and Death. How deep Samdi penetrates the illusion of time. In his later years, my grandfather entered an exceptionally profound meditative absorption that led to the most extraordinary episode in our family history. His breathing and pulse became so faint that the family mistakenly believed he had passed away and hurriedly buried him. Several days later, however, he appeared vividly in my father's dream and spoke calmly, "I haven't left yet. Why did you bury me so soon?" "Well, since I'm buried, let it be." This is not a ghost story, but a direct experiential verification of the illusory nature of life, death, and time. 1. Samdi is not death. The state my grandfather entered closely resembled Nirodha Samapatti, cessation attainment. The six consciousnesses temporarily cease their discriminative functions and physiological signs drop to an extremely subtle level. Yet the underlying continuum of consciousness, the ālaya-vijñāna, remain uninterrupted. This is fundamentally different from physical death, in which consciousness departs the body. 2. The collapse of time perception. In such deep absorption, subjective linear time completely dissolves. A single moment in Samdi may correspond to several days in the external world. When his consciousness gradually reemerged from this depth, the perceived time gap manifested as appearing days later. This was a living confirmation that time itself is a construct of consciousness, arising from the illusion of continuous mental succession. 3. A direct inquiry into life and death. This event became the most immediate teaching on impermanence, anicca, and non-self anat for our family. It loosened our attachment to the seemingly solid boundary between life and death, revealing the latent potential of consciousness to transcend ordinary modes of perception under specific levels of realization. After this event, my grandfather communicated with my parents through dreams on several occasions. In 2017, when my wife and I faced serious challenges in both life and health, he again appeared, this time engaging in a long and profound dialogue with my father, offering guidance for both our lives and our cultivation. A deep conversation in a dream, faith as the root, seeking nothing outside. On that night in 2017, my father experienced an exceptionally lucid dream in which he spoke at length with my grandfather. The teaching given was not a list of external solutions, but a revelation of the most fundamental anchor and inner navigation principle for facing life's storms. Its essence can be summarized as follows. All adverse external conditions are nothing to fear. True strength arises from an unshakable faith within you. This faith aligns with 3 layers of light. 1. Faith in the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and ultimate truth. This is not superstition or a plea for protection, but complete trust in the universal law of cause and effect and the inherent awakening of one's own nature. It is the certainty that all experiences arise from deep karmic causes, and that adversity itself is an opportunity for purification and the awakening of wisdom. The protection of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is, in essence, the correct view and inner stability that arise when one relies on the Dharma and thinks in accordance with truth, naturally dissolving hardship. 2. Faith in the wisdom lineage of Master Han Shitang. The methods of observing the mind and living in the middle way taught by Master Han have been tested and proven. To trust him is to trust the clear path that guided countless people out of confusion and remains valid today. This faith enables discernment amid chaos and prevents one from being driven by emotion. 3. Faith in me, your grandfather, and in all those who walk before you. Though my present state exists in a different dimension from yours, our minds can still resonate. bloodline, and spiritual lineage together form a powerful channel of support and protection. When you truly trust in this connection, the heart no longer feels alone, and this absence of loneliness shatters fear at its root. We are like those standing on opposite banks of a river. You traverse the shore, while we guard and transmit the light from the other side. The only test and expression of this faith, he emphasized, is no fear and no seeking outside oneself. No fear. Fear is the greatest breach in faith. It attracts and amplifies negative energies. If you tremble in fear, he said, it is like digging a pit for yourself in a storm. You will be submerged more easily. Stand upright and face the wind, and it will struggle to break you. Fear regarding health or livelihood must be transformed into focused inner awareness. No seeking outside. This does not mean rejecting medical care or reasonable assistance. Rather, it means not placing all hope for liberation on an external savior, a miraculous shortcut, or blind luck. True transformative power always arises from within. Seeking externally hands away one's own strength. Inner cultivation builds an unassailable fortress. A practical path based on this teaching. 1. Anchor the mind through daily sitting. Sit in meditation at a fixed time each day. Do not pursue duration or special states. Simply attend to the breath and silently internalize this conviction. At this moment, I am upheld by the 3 layers of light. I am without fear. Let this certainty permeate the entire body. 2. Turn adversity into the path. When illness or anxiety arises, treat it as a practice question. Instead of resisting or complaining, observe calmly. Where is fear? What does it feel like? Does it truly control me? This very observation activates right view, applies Master Han's teachings, and connect with ancestral support. 3. Establish the family as a mandala of practice. Create a simple nightly family ritual. Light a lamp together not to beg for blessings, but to affirm that the lamp of faith within you is one with the light of the lineage and cannot be extinguished. Share reflections from the day's practice. After waking, my father felt this guidance struck directly at the core, unlike earlier fragmentary instructions. Our family practiced accordingly. The greatest change was not an instant reversal of external circumstances, but a profound inner shift. Panic gave way to quiet courage. Helpless complaint transformed into shared, silent effort. We came to understand that true protection does not create a sterile, risk-free environment. It builds an inner structure that cannot be destroyed by any storm. A fortress of the heart, with faith as steel bones and awareness as its walls. Through this dream conversation, my grandfather completed the most essential transmission of the Dharma lineage to our family. He made it unmistakably clear what Master Han taught and what he himself practiced was never reliance on external mystical forces, but a path of self-reliance, awakened faith, and inner independence. True protection is nowhere else. It naturally radiates when faith is complete, fear is released, and one turns inward. This light transcends life and death, dispels ignorance, and is the most precious flame in our family's lineage.